All right, everyone. It's Travis here, CT Graphic and Designs. Got a 2016 Chevy Silverado. Show you a couple tips with taking off a door panel on the front. The rear does the same thing. Real quick, set this up here just so you can see it. There is a bolt behind the door latch or the door handle. A grab bar. There's two bolts behind the little pen, little plastic piece there, and then there's one you have to pry off this. Let's see if I can hold it up. Don't want to attach it to the door because I want to show you a couple things. Put your pick or your wedge underneath there. I usually use the fat wide one. Go up here, pry out, and slowly pry it up and down. Okay. And up and down sounds silly, but you're going to want to pry it up like this and then pull it out and down. And the reason is otherwise you're going to break off these little tabs. You don't need to do that. These little metal clips, sometimes they stay in the holes here. Just use a pick, pull them out. If you bend them up, sometimes these little teeth inside will flex up. Just grab a pair of needle nose pliers, pinch in between two ends and at the bottom here, and it'll straighten them back out. There is a bolt back in the deep part here, and then there's two along the bottom, there and there. All of the bolts are 7mm. When you get all the bolts out, you're going to pry off in the bottom corner like I usually show you, and then lift up the door as you go along. Now when you get to the front, let's see if I can clamp on here and show you. I even just set it. Let's see here. Sorry about the camera angle, but I'm gonna get this to sit for a second. Okay, that should hold it for a minute. If it falls, I'll try to catch it. When you get to this last part and you have the door loose, so you're sitting here like this, you want to pull the back end and lift up and then slide it off. I see a bunch of times guys are grabbing hold of it and they're reefing on it, ripping it out, and then next thing you know, they mess up the weather stripping. Okay, weather stripping is actually a bunch of metal pieces here. They're individual, so you can see like this one here is lifted up just a little bit. They're a little 1/4 inch wide. You can see, you might be able to see the spacing there, and the ribs. You can feel it too. They'll bend those all up, and then they're all over the place and looking funny and messing up the window tint or messing up something else that you hear the sound of the wind and all that shit. You don't need. Excuse the language. The other thing is when you pull it up off of there, weather stripping is going to be still attached here. Okay, let me make sure this is all still getting on camera. Yeah, so the weather stripping is going to be sitting here like this. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to pull it forward or backwards to get it off of these pins, and these pins are sitting here just like this. Okay, now the next step is these are sitting back here in these little slots underneath the leather, and you're going to pinch here. I use a pick and pry it down and slide it off. Slide all 5 off, and then you're going to put them back in these channels. So you're getting ready to put the door back together. Put them in those channels. Now take your weather stripping that you did not mess up, put it in the front, push it forward, and slowly work it down. That'll prevent you from messing up any of the metal pieces and causing a deformity. If you want to change your 6x9 speaker in your door, they're just 7mm again. That's right behind there, one up top, and then one down below. Get you back up here for a sec. Now, I should have known that was going to happen, but let's see if I can get this scared the crap out of everybody watching, but let me get this back up here where I had it. Okay, so now you grab your door lock, slide that up through the hole. You're gonna line it up, and by line it up, you're gonna line up the back plastic. So it's gonna look like this. Line that up in the front, line this up in the back. Obviously you can see it still needs to be adjusted a little bit, but I'm just gonna go through and tap it back into place. Now those pins, pretty simple. The whole way around, you can tap it all back in space, and everything's lined back up because you line it off the top. 5 pins in the window, and then 1 pin out here and another pin back in here. I see it all the time. Guys are going through and they're just ripping it off, damaging it, and then they're trying to finagle it back together, or they leave the weather stripping on and they try to slide the panel back on and then damage it all up, and then you have like weather stripping tucked up out of here. I mean, you can see everything looks factory lined back up. Make sure you just take that strip out, put the strip inside the door, inside the truck while you're working on it. Take off the clips and then put it back. Clips, weather stripping, line it up, smack it back in place. Do not forget to put this in here. Done that, and then you're looking for it. You can't get the car on, or the truck to unlock on that door. Good thing to check while you're here. Make sure that Chevy catch doesn't come off. Make sure you can still hear it working the door panel. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or need a little bit more insight, just send me a message, comment on the video, like and subscribe the video if you enjoyed it or found it informative. Subscribe if you want to watch some more videos on other cars. Really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you guys later.